everybody, and welcome back to another episode of We Watch Shudder. My name is Michelle, and who's here with me?
It's JD.
It's JD. It's Michelle. It's always us. JD.
Uh-huh.
That sounded like very sad. That was just a real sad hello. Are you doing okay? Therapy portion?
I don't know if it was sad. It may be a little tired. Because
Okay.
I just ate a whole bunch of pasta. And I smoked a little grass. And so maybe just
I wish I could have pasta.
maybe just a little tired, but I'm gonna get the energy going here. I got my Ghidorah over here to drink down. I got this dog who's probably gonna turn into a nuisance here at some point, depending on how long I don't pay attention to him. Got movies to talk about. How are you, Michelle?
I got a gigantic cappuccino that I just made at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Huge hits
I'm
of
excited.
caffeine in the middle of the night. That's how we live.
Yeah. Fun fact about me, I love making tea and coffee and cappuccinos, and I have a whole beverage station in my kitchen, and I love it. You ask me to whip something up, I will. I got all the things. I don't like doing it more than I need to, though. So if I'm making myself a cappuccino, I have these, like, the soup bowls with the handles, like the really big soup bowls. That's what I use for my beverages. Because if I'm making a cappuccino, I don't want to mix it twice. I don't want to froth twice.
So you have like a half-gallon cappuccino?
Whatever this would be. So maybe? Is that like a half gallon?
I don't know. I
That-
took your no, that's probably like
No.
maybe a quart,
Okay. I don't
which
know
is a
measurements.
quarter gallon. So it's a big ass bowl.
It's delicious. It's delicious. Anyway,
Yeah.
now that's my
Hey.
therapy portion.
Sweet. If this is your first time tuning into We Watch Shudder, thanks for checking out the show. It's called We Watch Shudder because that's what we do. And that's especially what we did today. There's a new movie dropped on Shudder original, called Reflection in a Dead Diamond, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Michelle knew way more about it than I did. What did you know about this, Michelle?
I tried to avoid it as much as I could, but hints of what this movie was did sneak in. I knew that it was an homage to an older film style. I knew that it was a spy film, and I knew that it was French. And I'd also seen some still images, particularly the one on the beach with the eye. So I'd seen some things, but and I figure with how much I was hearing about it, I had expectations that it would be a good movie, just because I had to duck and dodge, and I mostly made it.
Right on.
So, yeah.
What I knew is that it was called Reflection in a Dead Diamond, and that at least immediately gave me like late 60s, early 70s Italian vibes. You know, just
how
not entirely.
appropriate.
Well, yeah. I'm not. I wasn't. I guess I was kind of expecting something a little bit more giallo-esque, and we'll obviously talk a little bit more in detail as we get going here. But literally, all I knew is it had a cool name, and it had cool imagery that definitely reminded me of old school Italian stuff, and for good reason, as we'll see. Do you have the Descrippy script on IMDb, Michelle?
I do have the Descrippy script on IMDb. Would you like to hear it?
I would. Man, you know what I love about this right now is we're just like fucking getting down to business today. We're not dicking around at all.
Well, today. Not always. We're kind of... And we are kind of ruining it now by commenting on it.
I
so
did
now we're
say
a couple
today.
seconds later.
Anyway,
Okay. I was making a note on my whiteboard. Okay, back into it. I found my whiteboard, and now I'm just really excited to write things on there to myself, like, you're doing a good job. So that when I look at it for my to-do list, I have a little smiley face in the corner. So I was like,
Aww.
Reminder, you're awesome. Anyway. Reflection in a Dead Diamond. According to IMDb, a retired spy suspects his former adversaries have resurfaced when his intriguing neighbor vanishes. That description sucks to read when you have a slight lisp. Reflection in a Dead Diamond, original title, Reflect dans un Diamant Mort, if you're using the correct French pronunciation accent, as I did. 2025, hour 27 minutes, less than 90 minutes. Good job. JD.
Yes, Michelle.
Would you like to hit us with your thoughts of the Dead Diamond and its reflection?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay. Well then, short episode. Like you said, we are just rushing through it. We are past the spoiler-free section. All good. Okay, bye.
Throwing out jokes that I've used a million times before. I'm so clever. Yeah,
That's
I'd love to tell you.
they're always funny.
Are they? I would love to tell you how I felt about this movie. Holy shit, this movie is awesome. Like, this movie blew me away the first time I watched it. I just got done watching it a second time about 15 minutes before we started recording the episode. This movie is visually stunning. Some of the best cinematography I've seen in any movie of any kind in a while. Just beautiful to look at. It's completely fucking nut bar. I tried to come up with a way that I could describe, or at least sort of hint at what this movie felt like. Dario Argento and Quentin Tarantino and David Lynch all got together and did a little bit too much acid and made a movie together, made a James Bond movie. It's wild. And then it just flips on not only is it super fun and awesome and this beautiful homage to this bygone era, and then right when you think you're just having fun, it becomes so much more. Like, it turns into just this psychotropic sort of just like, it's kind of a mind fuck, but also I felt did a beautiful job of making it very clear by the end of things what's happening here. And it's got some interesting things to say about fame, some pretty obvious things to say about relationships between men and women, some things specifically to say just about like James Bond as a trope, as that character. I loved everything about this. This is a 5-skull movie for me. I loved it.
Okay. Wow. 5 skulls from JD for
I
reflection
was genuinely surprised. I was riveted the whole way through the first time and again the second.
Jeez. Okay.
So Michelle.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us your spoiler-free thoughts on Reflection in a Dead Diamond?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh,
My name's JD.
Oh, you're funny.
Yeah, I guess I may as well since we're here, you know? I think it would make sense. I can tell you, first off, without even commenting on the movie, that the most entertaining part of this movie for me was trying to figure out how mad you would be at me that I said I wanted to watch it. Because if there's one thing JD doesn't like, it is French pretentiousness. And I didn't know if this crossed the line from being like cool art into pretentious. Is pretentiousness a word or is it just pretentious?
Yeah. No, pretentiousness.
Okay.
Well, they're variations of each other. Somebody is pretentious or a thing has pretentiousness. They're just
yes. I've just never
variations
heard
of
the
same
word pretentiousness. So it was not positive. Anyway, grammar
gotcha.
lesson about the English language while reviewing this French film. I was going to message you when I was like 2 minutes in to comment on something I had said earlier in the day, which is I sent you a message, something along the line of, I'm doing accounting homework and I would much rather be watching a pretentious French film. And then when I started watching it, I almost messaged you and said, oh no, I'd rather be doing accounting because I had no idea what was going on. Once I settled into the swing of things, this is a real cool movie. I went into this thinking I don't like this and JD is going to be very mad at me about this film. And after like 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, oh, no, I get it. I like this. I like it a lot. The visuals alone, even when I started out being like, I don't know, because I didn't expect it to get very energetic, we'll say. I thought it might just be like sad old man on the beach reflecting and being kind of like a slower film than what it was. But even then I was like, well, gotta give it credit. It's real cool camera work, and the art style is neat, and it does a good job of doing homages. And oh wait, no, never mind, it's just a really good movie. I'm just talking myself into it being a good movie. So I really liked it. Not as much as you, but also not surprising, because it does have those Giallo and Argento vibes, which I know you were a huge fan of, and I am not. So I was kind of hoping this homage would break past that barrier for me. Sadly, it did not, but I still had a real good time. We're gonna do 4-point, pick some random numbers because they don't matter. Let's do 1-6. One of my favorite numbers. 16. 4.16.
All right.
And a 5 from JD. That's a
that's
pretty
that's
good
fair.
number.
I can definitely see, like, if you aren't really connected to that 60s and 70s just Eurotrash, I don't, there's a part of me that hates that terminology, but I also understand it, right? And it's just so commonplace now, but just that style. But yeah, like it's an homage without just getting stuck in being an homage, right? It does, like, this is such a fucking beautiful movie. Like, these just well-structured shots, very composed images, real rich color, very, very saturated, vibrant color. And then, like I said, we'll talk about it in detail, but this thing does some stuff with the story that I really, really thought was interesting and clever and well done.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Should say, this is absolutely not a horror movie.
Absolutely not. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Yeah, it has some violence and some splatter in it. There's some blood here, and some, but it's definitely not. This is a reference point I'm going to get into much deeper as we go in, but think Kill Bill, right? There are sequences where there's really
Kill Bill.
Yes. Yeah, some really intense sort of splatter in that sort of vibe, but definitely not a horror movie, and I don't care. Man, it's still a cool genre flick. If Shudder starts expanding out into more stuff like this, I'm totally cool with that.
I think there will be a lot of overlap between people who like horror and like this movie, because despite it not being horror, it's real bloody, and horror fans usually like blood.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of that.
Genre fans like genre movies, you know. I love sci-fi and fantasy, and like a good Western even now and then, so, you know. Do you not like Westerns, Michelle?
No, I don't.
Do you know
Eddington
Star Wars
is my
a
exception. Is Star Wars a Western?
Sort of. No, it's inspired by a lot of Western.
It's in space. It's not in the western part of the world. So that kind of undoes that whole logic. No, there's no such thing, because where's West in space?
We don't need to discuss Star Wars on this podcast. Should we get into the spoiler section?
Now I'm just trying to think about where West would be in space. If you were on a space shuttle, would you use that? Like, in relation to the Earth and the sun?
West is on the other side of up.
Okay, I get it now. That doesn't...
Do you?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, sure. All
right, so if you don't want spoilers, you want to check this movie out, this is where you're going to want to pause the episode. If you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen it, this is where we're going to really sort of dig in. And also, we haven't done this in a hot minute. This is the point where we ask Michelle to summarize the plot of a movie sort of extemporaneously right off the top of her head, and I can see this look growing on her face where she's just like, only have I not done...
I forgot to do this.
Not only have I not done... then it's this movie! It's not just that you haven't done... It's this movie! Oh,
Yeah.
that's so unfortunate for you.
Okay. Okay. It's been 2 months. I just went to look at our spreadsheet. It's been 2 months since the last time I tried to sum up a movie. For those of you who also aren't aware, I have a memory disorder where I have a really hard time with short-term memory loss. So I have to actively I have to study it if I really want to lock it in there. I did not study this movie. I watched it one time. I debated watching it a second time today, but decided that I didn't want to because I wanted to let that magic linger a little bit before I go back in with this very analytical view, which is a thing I've been saying a lot this month, despite not being very analytical. I'm a little dumb.
Accounting classes.
Counting. I had my final test before the final yesterday. I got an 85.6%, and I worked hard for that 85.6%.
I would like to take a quick moment to point out just a little behind the scenes that Michelle, being as insanely busy as she is all the time, sort of lost track of what was going on in her accounting class and had like a day and a half to get through all of this material for a test that she had to have done by like Sunday night, and was absolutely certain she was going to fail it, and she got a B. That's Michelle, that's awesome. You not only did you pass, you got a B.
Yeah,
that's
I took
solid.
Intense notes. I have whole notebooks from this class, so I had to very quickly just write notes like you would not believe. And luckily it's all open note tests, so as long as I have it written down, I can figure it out. But God, accounting's hard. Who decided this was a good thing to teach and require as a general business degree? Why? The computer will do it for me. This is too complicated. Anyway, I'm procrastinating.
But what happens when the machines die? Michelle, because I, in fact, did just get done watching the movie a second time, and in honor of you managing to land a B on your accounting test this weekend, the final, was it the final?
No, I have the final in a week, and I'm freaking the fuck out.
It's all right, it's coming. Would you like me to do the summary of this movie this time?
I'm going to tell you the plot points that I remember enough to include in a summary, which I think are like 3 of them.
Okay.
And then, yes, you can probably do a better summary. Because what I remember, I like the images. So I have a lot of images in my head, like a girl's face getting crushed in diamonds. Like, that's a pretty cool image. And a lady losing a whole bunch of faces that are all different. So this is an old guy who then he has flashbacks to when he was a not so old guy. And he was a spy, but was he really a spy, or was he an actor? Is all of this in his head? Did any of this actually happen? We have no idea. There's a lady named Serpentique. Yep, that lady.
Serpentique.
Yeah, she has blades in her high heels, which she uses to kill men. And she's maybe a fellow Hollywood star, but maybe not. Maybe she's real and she can morph into a lot of different people. She just keeps removing mask after mask after mask. And then they go out Thelma and Louise style at the very end. That's like literally all I can tell you about this movie. I know I liked it.
It's not bad.
I did not multitask while I watched this. This got my full attention. I still have no memory.
It's not bad. All right, let me see if I can give a little bit more detail here for so the movie starts and there's this old fella named John. And he's at this like beachside resort on the ocean. And there's this lady in a bikini, and John is real sort of like he's real pervy and real creepy and just stares at this lady all the time, and we never get to see her face. And slowly we figure out that that's very representative of what he's going through in his life, this guy, John. John, by the way, is in room 316 at this resort. I don't know if that means anything or if they just threw it in there to be cheeky. But the lady in 317 doesn't like him. And then we start seeing all these sort of flashbacks, and we're like, oh, fuck, John was a super spy, like a James Bond super spy. And he had all these cool gadgets, and he went on all these crazy missions, and there's all these like weird psychedelic scenes similar to like a James Bond opening where guys are getting stabbed in the eyeball with the Eiffel Tower, and then there's diamonds shooting out of their face and all this stuff. And so, you know, it's going back and forth between the past and the present, and it started creating this vibe of like, oh, the super spy's arch nemesis might have returned, and he thinks maybe this lady in the bikini on the beach is his nemesis, and that's why he's been keeping up with her. And then one day she just disappears, just kind of goes away. And then we're seeing there's this lady in the past that was like one of his co-agents, but also, I don't know, it looked like maybe they were fucking, or maybe they weren't. I don't know. It's real James Bondy. If there's a lady in James Bond, he's probably fucking her. That's just the way it was. And this movie has some things to say about that idea. So anyway, there's all this stuff. He's trying to figure out what's going on. We're looking at all of these flashbacks, and then there's this sequence where they start talking about like James Bond's like rogues gallery of villains and all of this stuff, and they show you this guy called Atomic who has like, they all end in an IK. I don't know if you caught on to that. There's like Atomic, and he wears a glowy suit. And there's Serpentic, who's the arch nemesis we're dealing with here. And then there's this other one. And then there's the villain, the worst of all, and his name is Kinetic. And he can make you believe that you're in a movie? And that everything you're experiencing is just you on the set of a movie? And that's where shit gets bonkers. Because you slowly start to realize, oh shit, maybe John was not in fact a spy. He was like a James Bond actor. And they hit that moment where like, they very much play up. It's like, oh, you're about to be replaced by the younger, hotter, reborn John D, I guess is the name of the character in the movies. And it's this, like, Serpentic, the character, is also, like there and chasing him. But it's like this actress, and nobody will tell him who the actress is for whatever reason. There's, like, nobody knows who she actually is, and the movie's a flop, and he gets replaced, and it keeps cutting back and forth between, is he actually a spy, and the supervillain Kinetic is making him believe he's in a movie, is he actually a movie star, and this whole spy thing is him just having a complete nervous breakdown from when he was an actor, and then he lost his fame. Who knows? We don't fucking know. Here's what I do know. There's a nice blonde lady who pays his bill at the hotel, and then he fucking runs her off the side of the mountain because he thinks she's the lady, the Serpentic. And then there's all sorts of blood and all sorts of diamonds and people's faces getting smashed in glass and people's faces getting ripped off and people getting hit with swords. And it's fucking rad. And then John dies.
John dies?
Either, depending on how you interpret this, he flew off the side of a cliff along with Serpentic, Thelma and Louise style, like you mentioned, or he just died in his sleep sitting on the beach side. Because that's the last shot of... Well, that's the last shot of the movie, is him sitting on...
Oh, I don't mean movie. I mean, if you're going to die, do you want to go out on the beach or Thelma and Louise style?
Oh, on the beach in my sleep. Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? Oh, okay. I don't want to fucking scream into death. No.
But if I'm the one driving the car off the cliff, then you can assume I wanted to do it, and that would be the biggest thrill of my life. And then I wouldn't have to worry about, like, oh my god, this is scary because it might kill me. Yeah, that's the point. That sounds great.
Well, I mean, different strokes, I guess.
Yeah.
You also want to be fake kidnapped and tortured by somebody in an extreme haunted house, and I don't want to have anything to do with that. So, you know.
I was hoping that you were just going to stop you at you just want to be fake kidnapped and tortured and just no other context for anything. Just, yeah, that Michelle loves getting fake kidnapped. Loves it. Cannot stop.
Loves it.
Putting out Craigslist ads about myself all the time.
So, again, the first thing I want to talk about...
ad and put my own face on it.
Trying to talk about movies here, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Texting people and made up Amber Alert about myself. Have you seen her? Probably watching birds. last scene wearing this outfit, and it's a cute selfie.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like, the
Here's
first
another
thing, obviously...
pun.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I got nothing. Go ahead.
Are you
drink.
done? Drink
Yeah,
out of your
that'll-
quart bowl.
I think I've
Your
had like
cappuccino
16
soup.
quarts. It's delicious. It really is.
No, so I want to talk about it first because it is one of the first things, obviously, that you experience about this movie is the visual style of it. The first thing that I love is, like this hits all the stylistic hallmarks of that, like, late 60s, early to mid 70s Italian visual style. Like I mentioned, the colors are very rich and vibrant. There are just incredibly framed shots in this, just almost even moments where they literally create shots that mimic these old paintings, and they use those paintings kind of in place of special effects to create a really awesome experience. The psychedelic moments where they're just like washes of color. This movie is an absolute feast for the eyes. Do you not agree?
Oh no, it sucks. Everything visual about I really liked it for the dialogue that I understood so clearly. I thought the subtitles, great font. Good use. So before we started recording, you knew very little about how I felt about the film and vice versa. I knew you were going to love or hate it. I knew this was not going to be an in-between for you. You had asked if I had dug into this at all, because I told you I was just kind of like, I had a lot of questions throughout the day that I was looking up. There's very little out there about this right now. One of the things that I did not find in my very quick perusal of interviews and videos and stuff, I think there's a lot of color symbolism here, and that different worlds or moods are either red or green or whatever it may be. And on my second watch, I'm taking notes.
Okay, so here's the one thing I can say about that, Michelle, is because, again, we were talking about some of the research. You're never going to believe this. I mentioned to you that I found like 3 or 4 little short 10, 15-minute interviews from Fantastic Fest. I started watching one of them. I didn't really care for the interviewer. I thought it was real awkward, and so I just stopped watching it. That is something they talk about in that interview clip. You are
Really?
Absolutely right. Yes. There are different color schemes and themes for different parts of the story. You are correct.
It was so apparent because I'm like, movies, especially a movie like this, every single decision is done for a reason. So they sat down and they went, this scene is going to have a heavy green filter. And they had to figure out why they were doing that. And I did not think it was just aesthetic appeal, that it means something.
Not.
So I'm really excited to watch it a second time and pay attention to that. And I think I'm going to get real murder bored with it and have like little like strings all over my room trying to figure out this movie. Because I think part of what really intrigues me is the fact that I can't find answers for anything. Nobody's talking about it yet. And they need to be talking about it so I can read debates with people about what the different meanings are. And then like 2 years from now, somebody's going to watch it for the first time and be like, oh yeah, it's clearly about aliens. Here's how you know it. I'm going to be like, what? And they're going to be 100% correct. I love watching older movies just for the online discourse. As long as it's not dumb. A lot of online discourse, it's not so good. But sometimes it's real good.
It is pretty dumb.
It was pretty dumb.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. What else do you have to say about JD?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I was just going to, do you have like any specific moments visually that really stood out for you as particular favorites?
Oh boy. Oh, do I? It's that one where she's fighting the dudes with the blade high heels and like she just keeps like cutting that one guy or is she scratching him at that point? I can't remember which of those happened to the guy in that fight versus her Bond moment later, but like that whole fight scene is excellent. There's a lot of really good action, but that one, I think because that's the one that felt like Kill Bill to me. And Kill Bill is very much like at the front of my mind right now with them doing the whole double feature like thing in theaters.
Sure.
So I was thinking about that, and Kill Bill, obviously great action sequences. And so yeah, I love that. It's real good. It's a real good time.
Yeah. Well,
I also just
I
like
guess,
the montage at the beginning where I'm like, I have no idea what the hell is going on. Yeah.
Sure. I guess I was asking more like specific individual shots, like towards the end of the movie when he's coming out of the movie theater, having just finished watching the first movie with the other guy who's now playing John D. Like this incredible shot of the front of the theater where it's just perfectly framed and all these lights coming out. There's that sequence where we see it as if it might have been a real thing, and then we see it later on the movie set, but they're in that room with the zebra stripe walls and everything is shot at these off-kilter Dutch angles. There's a lot of Kubrick in this visually. They lift the motif entirely from The Shining, and they do it multiple times where they follow that zigzag carpet through the hotel or whatever. Yeah, just stunning movie.
A single individual shot that I like, just one of them. That lady with the nipple jewelry at the beginning where it really glints off of her boob. That's probably the best visually striking thing.
Look, I'm not gonna. I apologize for being slightly, especially considering some of the themes of the movie, but there are a lot of fantastic tits in this movie.
Oh yeah,
every one of them is different, and they're all incredible. Oh, like this movie liked very close up shots of tits, very close up. But yeah.
Listen, I've never met a tit I didn't like.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's but managed to do it without. And again, this is what was interesting about it to me, considering the type of movies that are being sort of homaged and or parodied here, is managed to incorporate a lot of nudity without really over-sexualizing some of the most of it. There are a couple of small moments, but a lot of it is like when Serpentique and all her different faces are killing the people in that dark room, and it's a different naked woman every time, just whipping the shit out of these guys. It used its nudity in very interesting ways, I thought, considering, again, the type of homage this was.
That reminds me of something you said in the spoiler-free section. You said this had a lot to say about men and women. And the relationship between them. Was that just because it is an homage to macho spy films, or was there more going on there? Because I don't think I escaped me. Uh-oh, JD's dying. He's back.
No, I'm not dying, Michelle. Stop it.
Well, we all are.
Well, yes, Sylvia Plath. Yeah. We're all dying.
Yeah.
No, I think especially in a lot of ways is commenting on specifically the misogyny of James Bond as a character, and the sort of veneration of that as an ideal, right? Like, he was such a hero to so many people, and there's this motif, right, of like this Serpentique ultimately is represented by 6, 7, maybe 8 different women, and this peeling off of faces, like they're all just interchangeable, and they're just he's just moving through them one right after the other, to the extent that he like, you see it in a lot of his especially in that scene where the woman is chained to the bed with the zebra stripes. He talks a lot about like he knows it's her, but then also is like demanding she tell him who it is. This sort of lack of familiarity, like he knows it's someone he's met before, but he's been through so many different things that he has no idea who it is. And then there's that reverse moment, which is again sort of reflected in the sequence where suddenly we see him in the new actor's face, and just like Serpentique does, he peels off that new actor's face to show his own face. And I think the implication there is just sort of a juxtaposition of like this attitude of just like using and discarding women over and over and not really recognizing them as identity. And then that happens to him one time where he's simply replaced and discarded. And it starts ultimately this descent into complete madness where he now, because my read on the movie is I believe that the story where he's an actor who's gone nuts and started believing that he was his character is what's going on here. I know that's open to interpretation in a lot of ways, but that's the way I've read the movie. And so just that, I thought that juxtaposing of those ideas of, like now we see the depth of what that does on this side of things, and thus in kind of showing then like this is what you have done to other people multiple times over and over and over. And I don't think it's like a dominant theme of the entire thing, but I think it is a comment on that part of the James Bond sort of mythos.
Dude, your brain is so cool. I didn't get any of that, and now it's so apparent to me. Like, what a cool brain to have. Like,
yeah, and so
you want to know my profound thought about this?
Sure.
Wow, why didn't they get John Travolta and Nick Cage to come back for Face Off 2? That's what I'm thinking throughout this movie, and you're over there like, it's clearly a metaphor for the women who don't actually mean anything to him, and they don't have identities, and I'm over here like, ha ha ha, I'm real funny.
Yeah, well, and there's the whole element of like ultimately then like he is his own worst enemy, right? He's destroyed himself in that sense when he becomes Serpentique, and he's so overwhelmed by the revelation that he very literally starts suffocating on his own mask that has now come from, when it comes in pieces over onto him. It's and again, I don't think that's the entire thrust of the movie, but I think it's it seemed to me at least like a significant part of it, especially in this. You add in elements like the woman in the red bikini. We never, ever see her face, and it almost becomes like, in a way, the only way, because of him being ruined by this last movie. And how this movie failed, and it had nothing to do with him because it just is what it is. And then that's the moment where he's replaced. He kind of sees every interaction in his life now with women as a conflict with Serpentique. And it becomes the sort of dominant theme of his life.
That's so cool. I have nothing to add. I'm excited.
Like to the extent that he kills people, like he genuinely gets so lost in his right. Well, and again, this is based on my reading of it, as I've chosen to see that as what's happening here, because and again, in that little bit of an interview that I saw, they certainly talked about how they're deliberately playing with, with time and reality here, what is actually happening. I think one of the big things is they spend so much time in the spy world. Like the first half hour or more of this movie is all just like in that spy world. That by the time it flips, they like, one of the things is they show you that guy Atomic and they show you his picture and he's wearing some kind of weird suit, but then you see it later in the movie, and I don't remember exactly the context of it, but anyway, I feel like they did a really good job of making it seem like it could go either way. To me, though, there were enough things I saw that convinced me, at least, that that's the story here, is the actor has gone crazy because his fame fell apart.
I agree with the actor this being a former actor who has gone crazy. That's my interpretation as well. Partially because of what you were talking about, where the first half hour is a very strong spy film, and then things get really weird, and I feel like that's how Sanity works. Everything's going by and feeling just fine, and then all of a sudden, like, oop, things are weird now. And so, plus, I think that's a more interesting movie if this convinces you he's a spy and then shows you, nope, he's not, he's just crazy. Which does bring me to something that is one of my favorite elements of this that neither of us have even talked about, because I forgot to mention them. The spy gadgets are so cool in this movie.
Oh, they're rad.
Oh my god, the
rad.
dress. The dress with the little cameras or whatever that is. And
every
the
one
laser
of those
ring.
little discs is a recording device. Yeah.
Oh
that's
man,
rad.
the spy gadgets are so cool. It's weird that this is a really solid spy film, given what it actually is, which is a man who's either gone insane because he's a human, no longer an actor, or a man who's gone insane because Nemesis is telling him that he's an actor. Like, either way, it's about a guy losing his sanity, and yet really good spy movie. Real good spy movie.
It's another thing that I noticed more about it the second time through is also Serpentic to the older John in his delusion also to a certain extent represents death. Because like at one point early on when they're first describing Serpentic, they talk about her ring and they say something to the effect of it's like a kiss from a cobra or a cobra's kiss. And there's that repeated scene that we see over and over where he says, I've been waiting for this for a long time or whatever. He demands that she kiss him. And the very next thing we see when he says, kiss me, is they start to kiss and you see her hand with the ring come to the back of his neck. And that's what you see at the very end of the film. They go off the cliff. She throws her mask off. We still don't see the face. But he sees the face finally. They kiss and she kills him. And so to me, it's a very, and in the same way that movie killed his career, like that character in his delusion, is ultimately, what killed him. And the character is ultimately representative of his own folly. But I thought that was, super cool. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, and it just completely skipped my mind. So I'm just going to pass it back over to you. What else do you want to talk about in this awesome movie?
I don't have anything else on my list. It's just...
Nothing else?
I'm having a really hard time wrapping my head around it. Especially the more we talk about it, the more I feel like I can't determine if I was a Hollywood actor or a crazy old man. Like... Things are making me think even more. I am looking forward to a rewatch, but I'm going to give it a couple weeks.
I did remember. So just bringing it back to delusion and that sort of thing, what do you think about the idea, like, in a similar sense to, like, American Psycho, where this guy is an actor and his career did fall apart? And things are going wrong for him, but he didn't actually murder any of those people, and that's part of what's going on for him.
I had never thought of that, so I am currently trying to process. Do you remember, here's the thing I know, do you remember back when the internet first became much more accessible? And sometimes,
yes.
Or all the time when you tried to connect, it would make like really loud grating sounds, and you would try to muffle the computer with a pillow so that your mom wouldn't wake up at 3 a.m. and know that you're going online. But it's also the only time you can really truly do it uninterrupted, because you have a single phone line to your trailer. You don't have double lines, so in order to not tie up the phone line, you have to do it at 3 a.m. And like that sound, that's what my brain's doing right now. It's trying real hard to start up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't actually like.
All I
I
hear,
didn't
like,
have that thought
that,
until
but in my
we
head I
started
just hear,
talking about it here, and I was just curious if maybe.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
That's exactly what
Blah, 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 blah.
Wi-Fi used to sound like. Except it was wired. We didn't even have Wi-Fi back in my day. Anyway,
no, we didn't.
I want to talk about the internet because that's the thing I know. I have no idea what the hell is happening in this movie. I didn't even see a dead diamond. I saw diamonds, but they were all non-sentient.
So these writer-directors, and they work as a team on everything. What are their names? Where did it go?
It's Helene
Catet,
and Bruno Forzani.
So they've made 4 feature films together, I guess. And this is the first one that I've seen. There's another one on Shudder called Let the Corpses Tan, which I've already gone and watched. I watched that yesterday, since we ended up not recording right away yesterday. That one I wasn't quite as taken with as I was with this one. It's a very interesting and a different kind of movie for sure. And then they have another one called, and this is one that I've been aware of for a while, but now I'm definitely going to go look for it. It's called The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears, which is straight fucking giallo, right? Like, that is Reflection in a Dead Diamond. That's a fucking Italian giallo fucking title, right? And so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And then there's one called, I believe it's Amer. It's like Amer or something, but no, Let the Corpses Tan is solid. I'm going to check out the rest of their stuff as well.
Is The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears just blood?
I don't know, Michelle.
I think that's
considering
in
it is
to stabbing
kind
someone.
of a, well, considering it's kind of a giallo type movie from what I can tell, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I bet somebody gets stabbed and then the body's real sad about it, so then it starts crying, but the body doesn't make tears, only the eyes make tears and they hoard them, so the body releases blood. I betcha I figured out that one without even having to see it. See, maybe all of their films aren't confusing and make me think a lot. Look at that one, I solved the riddle immediately. I'm so smart. Real smart about it.
You know what my favorite giallo title ever was, Michelle?
The bird who stole my watch, so I had to call the police.
No, but it's a good title.
Okay.
It's a Sergio Martino movie from 1972 called Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Just ridiculous title.
And
ridiculous.
you hate Fall Out Boy, but you like titles like that. Come on, half the appeal. That's a Fall Out Boy song.
Well, it's it's fucking funny in movies like this.
It's great. Do you say that was your favorite title of all time?
No, it's my favorite giallo title of all time.
My favorite title.
My
of all
favorite
time.
title.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. My favorite title is Needle in a Time Stack, which is I watched it because the name was so dumb. It has Cynthia Erivo before she was ever even a possibility for Wicked. Wicked, the movie, was not even a thing. And it's about a man whose wife's ex-husband or ex-partner can manipulate time, and he starts doing that and erasing her from his life. And it's real cool movie. Dumbest name, because it's like you're looking for a needle in a haystack. You have to go back in time and find her, but it's a time stack.
Yeah.
It's a real dumb name
it.
for what wound up being a pretty good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Okay, what's your favorite title?
My favorite, my favorite movie title of all time of any kind of movie is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It has such a fucking rhythm to it. And a vibe, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another favorite is, it's not even the original title of the film, but I've always been a big fan of Mario Bava's A Bay of Blood was also released under the title Twitch of the Death Nerve.
That's a way better name.
Great. Oh, yeah, Twitch of the Death Nerve.
That's a way better name.
That's a fucking rad name.
I bet some doctor was like, excuse me, but nerves aren't directly tied to mortality. I feel like this is inaccurate. And then Tom Six, the guy who made Human Centipede, was like, actually, it's 100% medically accurate. And here's a diagram. And they changed it anyway. They didn't listen to Tom Six. That guy's underrated. Can you tell I have nothing else to say
underrated.
about this movie? Yeah.
No. Go check it out. That's what we have to say about it. Reflection of Dead Diamond. It's a Shudder original, so it's only available on Shudder and maybe AMC Plus add-ons on certain things.
It is
okay,
AMC
so
Plus,
you can get it there
I
as
have
well.
AMC Plus.
But yeah, for me anyway, highest recommendations from Michelle, close to highest recommendations. What are we doing next week, Michelle?
Ugh, probably panicking for a while.
Influencers?
Maybe.
I think it's another Shudder original called Influencers.
That sounds about right. I believe you.
Yeah. And then coming up 2 weeks from now, we're going to do a holiday double feature. We're going to watch, try anyway, to watch the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, because as it turns out, I have never seen the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, and I'm pretty sure you also have not seen it. Is that correct, Michelle?
Well, now I don't remember because I literally just talked to our friend Savannah about it like 2 hours ago, and I know I told you I had never seen it, but then talking to her a little bit about it and her being like, what the hell is this movie? Now I'm wondering if I do have memories about it, but that they're just real like fever dreamish, and so I thought that they were a thing I dreamed of years ago. So I don't know.
You don't remember any details, but if you see it, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I have seen this.
Yeah, but that is one of the benefits of having a memory disorder, is that if I don't want to retain information, I don't. There are so many people who I'm like, I'm never talking to that person again, and then I forget why I was mad at them. And as long as nobody tells me, I forget the fight ever happened. It's real.
So what you're saying ultimately is that traumatic brain injuries are a superpower?
Yeah, because it is pretty nice for that reason. I think that's why my husband and I never fight, because I do not remember what I was mad about 5 minutes later. It's real nice. real good.
You're like
power.
that guy from that movie, Memento.
100%. I started saying and then I went 100%, but like it came out as 100.
I thought that's what you did.
Yeah, no, I have actually said that if somebody wants to understand what it's like to be me, or at least what it used to right after the car accident, to watch Memento, because that's what I'd have to do. I'd have to reorient myself, but luckily mine was not as frequently as every 15 minutes, but we called them glitching, which is where I would just be talking and then I would just stop and stare off into the distance for a while, and then when they saw my life come back into my eyes, they'd be like, okay, so here's what's going on, and give me a quick recap, and then we'd go on with their day. That's why I don't like driving, because driving and then having a hard reboot sucks.
I could see how that might be problematic.
Yeah. I mean, it was never dangerous, but it was like I would forget where I was going, so then I'd have to just be like, and like pull off someplace, sit in a parking lot, wait until the memory came back, and then I could continue on my way. Yeah. Good times. Anyway, I got nothing else to talk about.
We also got, I was just going to say, we also got, of course, coming dangerously close to the end of the year and our top films of 2025. Do you have even an inkling, Michelle, of what your top 10 list is going to look like?
Oh, I can tell you right now what my top 10 list is, unless I watch something this month that changes it. But that's unlikely.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I know what it is. And a couple months ago, there were several that were tied in top 5 where I'm like, I don't know. But now enough things have come around, or things that I've seen that were out earlier, that I'm like, okay, we can kick these off the list, and it's way easier now. So yeah, I got a solid idea.
Looking forward to it. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at We Watch Shudder. We got a website, wewatchshudder.com. Send us an email with your favorite movies for the year. Mail at wewatchshudder.com.
Not female at wewatchshudder.com, though, because women suck.
You said it, Michelle, not me. You know what else you can say? Good night, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.